So there's a disdain for poor people, and the poor people, sometimes their poverty has been weaponized against them to fight the person who wants to help them. So your poverty is double, because you only support something if the person from your hometown or your political party is doing it. So instead of calling a spade and fighting it, you are so partisan that you are both a poor person and also a slave of your own prejudice. This is what we've become. What pastors Sunday preach about this thing. Preach about it, that if you're a nurse and somebody is brought to your hospital and your first reference is that, and you don't care that the person dies, you are an evil person. If you're a doctor who doesn't care about somebody's death because you claim you don't know anything. Your training is incomplete, because the empathy is part of your training.
Both of them are victims. The woman who took the baby is a victim. The mother is a serious victim. Both of them will need a lot of psychological and emotional counseling and support to help them go through this. The family.
How could a thief be a victim?
That's what I'm saying. Events and circumstances drove them there. And that somebody made a point. Solomon made a point that I agree with. We need to investigate to understand. One, is it just a simple case that who don't have a child? She was looking for a child. That becomes a very simple and direct way.
Or she is part of a ring.
Exactly.
Ministry of Health. Kwabena Mita Kando was it was set 3-member committee. Say Mamprobi Abrantia Yefeno Charles Amissah ni wona wu ye no. De ne ku no car na ball no ana oda ho ana do fo bi free ambulance na ye free no ye go do Ridge Hospital, soldier for hospital, yes no bed. You go do police hospital, yes no bed. Now Ghana hani na your biggest hospital, the biggest referral center, Kolebu teaching hospital, and also no bed. After 3 hours of suffering in pains, the man finally gave the ghost. Oh yeah no, Dr. Pierre. Oba no be confirm me is I'm power. And I say we are there. Says that Montaki death. Ehia mo chen say Montaki you shall be well. Ghana fodo wo chen kwa. Me say there be we busa penny befa cha wa frey ntoma. Aba wa yiase. But abro yare no ubusa 100 Ghana cedis. So our 2 million Ghana cedis na kazuma omobi. Omewu ansa. Obeto ayideka eburu 1000 Ghana. Obefa nkunya canopy. Obenu ayase jollof. Ni na ebo wie no na 10,000 20,000 Ghana ko. But na sika na ohia na onya apomudene 100 Ghana. The same way in Ghana as a country here. Your hospitals, doctors ni nurse for woman abroni beye. Omo wadin say they have to take good care of you. They have to treat you and make sure you are healthy. Omumum, we have seen more deaf people. We have seen people dying every day. Yesterday, even 10 people died into Ua and Kano. Nemo mi wo besu. Ni yiri wo besu, ne ba wo besu. Nonsense. Nkwasiasem nko a ane en Ghana. Why will I have to wake up and pray for 3 hours? Say Nyankopon emmo me na me nkomre sundiem because car na e fa me no car dada accident car ibe no ye twe ne be 25 years kwa na say ye no politician na o share me boss obey no onye ye enti se me fa so saa hospital na dem be kono nurse ni doctor ni no they don't give them about me because they are not paid right. And at the end of the day, you will die a stupid death. Oh, Ghana. You will die foolish death. I know people in you. Ube unkwasi wo. Yesi unkwasi ye. Ye unkwasi. Just enkwasi samno kwa. Enti minu mienu at the end of the day, kapremai. Kwa mi ahe foot wagon. Onana ode wo form. Onka hubi. Kodu hospital. Busa nurse ni so onka santrao. Obedi watem. Obetreo say oye yare for no nko ade automatically onyansa chen. Any diploma, any degree. Doctor ni no so ni nurse for no deda na no yes ba kwa nyem 9 omu na 9 duty ti say chama oyere nurse ni na wadwen ho yi waribe 9 omu na anyem ama no ananso omu na omu de danti doctor ni no hu se nurse ni jimi a ontimi nkan kire no so they are accomplices me say sir Raf sir democracy hub guy no. The reason why assassin buy ye who he hire Betty Ekan because that guy he or not as operate too much. Apart from that, personally, I said I'm involved. Me mami ni pon every moon. Cardiac arrest. He didn't go to hospital. No blood pressure. I say MRI any 3 months. Who say damage be na cause we hu because you say o ka kire bedru nti chechi bon de brofo no be ka no be ti ase because the crash ni papa no the first word as a nurse ni bema o ka kire me say o ma me about 80% obewu. Meanwhile these idiots go to school to learn empathy. The empathy na ye say obenye tema ama manfo no enu ni me nim kra me go America me go UK me go France go Germany I see nurses doctors giving patients and as patients omo caretakers hope say oh ye betima ye ebeye ebi akwa so dem ko bompa ye gije bi a wo bia no go and practice that once we do our best. Anya Ghana doctors and nurses I hate say me ko Ghana hospital say me ko Ghana hospital na me unconscious money da ho me accident this is money da ho I don't go to hospitals because they will kill you before your time. This man is just 29 good years. Car na bono on my bonny system bonny bar system nti car na bono we nyina ya nche no ye free ambulance ye che ya se na obaye hospital soldier hospital kapre ye need bed police hospital kapre ye need bed even the biggest hospital that we cherish a referral center say ayedin wo konfonochi ayedin wo tamatichi hospital na boga teaching hospital I said ba kolebu hospital oni bed common bed na yetia na Dr. Mahmoud Bomia ugoto drone ama in a country where we don't have hospital beds as a nyanse inibi you sa agenda 111 hospital nation no logo no kwa msa kwa ni 400 million Ghana cedis logo na logo abola be ye no enye logo kitwa nanga waje ukura kese kura o si wo bo ukura ga be 10,000 Ghana cedis 400 million 40,000 cedis edama party ni ba onyini hospitals so ya si ba ukrampo awie in a country that lack best hospital best mu ni bi o dwena agenda 111 chese bibia ye campaign bibia ye political talk afei na mo Ministry of Health motiwa mu ye investigation ana mo form committee de bia mu nkonum tea manum tea na monye okay the pedian the allowances for what Raf case mu ye committee nurse ni na oda no kuma actress no me serebusa ne den at the end of the story we all knew she was lying then atono Raf na mo se wotwa man for ma aba video mu no at the end of the day me pa cho den na Raf na to no na nu ya Ibrahim Mahama John the man mamunia watane car hey say na ni say na pa man for me check car ya tane car ofanko nesi na oye kuma movie no hwianto no the rough year no that and 1 week one woman sent his father at the same hospital regional hospital now yes no bed or for the papa free wa yes entiase kono ka yan kwasasem mo amonhwe no mo ma na fa no gobi say oye video ebo John the man mama edi Honor miraculously, magically, bed ebai. It say yeah. Do we think as human beings? Why? Adnesa. Why do we always think we need committee? Or hospitals only bed and yet. See, I remember very well listening to City TV and City FM. We hear sad documentary and yet. One Ghanaians, especially in Greater Accra, ne ye lucky or your hospital lucky best. And yet. After na mu documentary. After na mu formal committee. We chose drone over best. Something that was essential. Drone na survey basic. Abraham Maslow theory na mo kire e school mu no. Eno na mu di atama na asem ye rough. Because I thought we all understand that we have to solve the basic problem first. Who need bed, who for drone, either supply drugs. For what? For what? But omoye. Now guys Ghana now tell we. Now when Ben Avley, our morning show host and also the manager for City FM and Channel 1. Papa no oja. Was it shame on Rich Hospital, Police Hospital and Kolebu Teaching Hospital that someone dies like this and it is because as usual.
So there's a disdain for poor people, and the poor people sometimes their poverty has been weaponized against them to fight the person who wants to help them. So your poverty is double because you only support something if the person from your hometown or your political party is doing it. So instead of calling a spade and fighting it, you are so partisan that you are both a poor person and also a slave of your own prejudice. This is what we've become. So shame on Rich Hospital, shame on Police Hospital, shame on Kolebu, double shame that a 29-year-old guy can die and you can go to work business as usual. Wear red, declare day of repentance. You are evil. It must stop. This type of thing must change. Ghana will never progress if we don't change our minds towards people's lives because it's not a relative or because some doctor from another hospital didn't call you. How do you know whose life is more valuable than others? Are you God? Why did we sacrifice to train you that you can allow this guy to die and the whole society moves on as if nothing has happened? Ghana, shame on you, Ghanaians. Shame, shame. We have to repent from this wickedness of a man dying. Now go to his family. Imagine if his mother is still alive. To lose your son in this horrendous way by a medical system that does not value human life, full of excuses, always asking for entitlement. We want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. At least do something so that we can fight for you. With what you've done, why will I go and be helping nurses picketing? Or doctors asking for what do they call them? What they call it? The waiver for their car import. Why should I go and report on such a thing? If somebody can die like this on the basis that there's no bed, when the rules are very clear, and nobody is saying anything about it because somebody has died. People die all the time. Shame on you.
And you and come on. Most of them sorry. No, all we know, I know Richard will say, if you are a medical professional, right? Maybe pass out. If you are a medical professional and someone is brought to your hospital and you don't care that that person dies, you are an evil person. I mean, this will be you. If you are a medical professional and someone brought to your hospital and you don't care that the person dies, you are an evil person. Your training is incomplete because empathy is part of your training.
That how can a society sit down for such a thing to happen and not put in place any system? You covered a 70-year-old man. He went to 6 hospitals or 7 hospitals in 2018.
He died in his car.
Imagine what the in 2018, 2026, 8 years. Yeah. Has there been any serious shift in the operational policy of hospitals to show that we value life? We don't. Most people who enter these professions are just looking for money. That's what we do. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. And you see, What pastors Sunday preach about this thing? Preach about it, that if you're a nurse and somebody is brought to your hospital and your first reference is that, and you don't care that the person dies, you are an evil person. If you're a doctor who doesn't care about somebody's death because you claim you don't know anything. Your training is incomplete, because the empathy is part of your training. I was even told that if you want to do what do you call it? They call it critical something. They say the first step towards doing a certain kind of thinking is empathy. I was somewhere yesterday, we were talking about empathy, because they say before you can solve any problem, you must know what they are feeling. There's no empathy. The society collectively has lost the plot. We do not value human life. What we value is to be seen to be good people. A lot of hypocrisy in the society, because there are societies that are less religious than us, who preserve human life and organize their systems to make sure that nobody dies a stupid death. And whether you go to court, you go to police, you go to hospital, the whole system is structured to frustrate you if you don't have money.
Wait, Bernard Avley, morning show host for City FM, Channel 1 TV, and also the manager or the general manager for City FM and Channel 1 TV. He spoke passionately, and I get his anger. I lost my mother because our nurses were incompetent. I know friends who lost their fathers because nurses and doctors were incompetent, working lackadaisically. The same people who always uniform allowance into your cost strike. People will be dying at the hospital, they don't care. Yet, these are the same group of people who sweat an oath. Say, they will protect the life of Minu. You are people who take allowances for free. Kosesama kwa. Sa teacher for nurses allowance no. John Dramani Mama who any 2028. That's the one some allowances more. I won't get it. What the hell are they doing for us? We pay them good. We still pay allowances for what? For them to give us that lazy, lackadaisical attitude. Our hospital. It will be hard for you to find more than 10 nurses among 100 nurses. Oh, my good. Yet, the same group of people get to the United States of America and they are the best. UK, they are the best. Germany, they are the best. Why? Because a system works. Now, mwa. Among him, and some the right thing. Do you need to have law to protect human life? Do you need law to save human life? Do you need law to feel sympathy for the person that his family is dying? Hardly do they want to see a death on their list. Minimum Ghana has one record there, but Abrochire said Doctor Anasenes news said the sooner death out the list were that person goes to work and the person is in desperation, frustration, depression. Ghana ha nurse ni another way to na we na usi they be a who say am for ewu Jimmy Kasasa who say am for ewu u papa na ewu a enkanya oya u mami na ewu na oyire ana be wu na ewu a kenya oya kenya oya na the central one pokra say according to Director General at the Mother Ghana Health Service, Dr. Samuel Kaba, as a Mamprobi Polyclinic baby theft no staff no enam so mun center de nurses uniform anama abaya near chance ewuam go fatade amatin say 1,000 po and a good one warehouse one institution more na ye ne ho ye adwuma for 5 months. We will know everyone. The human face and eyes have recognized thousands of people from crèche to KG, class 1, because classes, JHS1, because JHS3, SS1, because SS3 and SS4, and I say Form 6 go to university training college and I say friends say nursing training. Only number of people you have met in your life. Yet, when you see your classmate that you were not even in a class with, you remember the person. But this man is telling me, no, me and he said, "Sa chrono koso because omun share uniform to omun steady the panenim John Kasese. One who the panenim there. Then we have the like of Afia Pokuya and some other celebrities saying nonsense like Dr. Zato or I say a doctor Obone doctorate. Joshua Dr. Zato. Oh yeah, a lecturer. I say the Mamprobi Clinic baby theft. Both the mother and the woman accused of stealing the baby are victims. Where you doctor?
The others have talked about security, yes. Somewhere last year there was a major security breach incident at Rich Hospital. You remember somebody went there, there was some destructions and stuff like that. The health minister promised that they were going to improve security at places. If you go anywhere, if you go outside this country and you go to any medical health facility, that is where you know where security is. That is where you know it's not even enough for you to be a nurse, to wear a uniform, a doctor. Sometimes you still need either your fingerprints or your facial recognitions or cards to move in a number of cards. And the more sensitive the place is, the more difficult it is to enter there. Because I've witnessed this things before, especially if you go to any of the, let me say, labor or delivery wards outside this country. In fact, the security loopholes you jump through before you get there become massive. We need to do that. But I'm also happy that we are saying that yes, both of them are victims. The woman who took the baby is a victim. The mother is a serious victim. Both of them will need a lot of psychological and emotional counsel and support to help them go through this. The family.
How could a thief be a victim?
That's what I'm saying. Events and circumstances drove them there. And that somebody made a point, Solomon made a point that I agree with. We need to investigate to understand. One, is it just a simple case that she couldn't have a child, she was looking for a child? That becomes a very simple and direct way.
Or she's part of a ring.
Exactly. That is the point. Now, if we find out then that she's part of a baby stealing ring, then any of the soft spot we have for her immediately erodes. Because then we then realize that no, that's not the case. We are not saying that it's justified if we realize, but we are saying that sometimes in cases like this, you must try to see whether you can go with a stick and a carrot approach. If not, you will forget and you will ignore certain important critical issues. Even if we realize that she's part of a ring, then the state can use her as a witness, as an informant, to not try to get, because her compliance and ready to talk to the security agencies, probably or preferably for linear sentences, could help unravel a bigger net and make sure that this is avoided.
On say education people Jimmy. School name people Jimmy. What Jimmy and what Jimmy? Finance and school nyansa nyepe. If you are stupid, you forever be stupid. There's nothing that will change it. So I'm asking, if today I wake up and become an armed robber because I'm finding it difficult to eat what I want or to get the money that can cater for me, between the two of man for so, then you have to call me a victim, not a villain. Say, and then me imagine say, I'm calling 7 years, 8 years. Me repeat your more because me pay man 1 penny, and he make me repeat my beer. So or a young girl, I would 8, 7 years crana, allowed. At fear a media person is telling us that you're go pantai, yes, a woman, because she's a victim. Say Jimmy Fueni na cancer man. Sometimes you don't get it. Better say we come on two. You say when for. Na so better say you say Jimmy. I feel go do kan Jimmy sem. Dr. Joshua that kan Jimmy sem. Obi e wa ko C-section. Nka me gas wo your ba. Ya pa onyanko ba eyem. Aya kwala firim. Na ye be wia no. Say we anya kwala na hu akwala na. Do you know what will happen? Sa kwala no. Ya fa no. Enka mamen forever and ever. Abusefo de bebo na kutia. Ebi akwala no na achana de aton. Achana de awe. Wakuno. O eboni. So society police for na sa wo ya ye di watam no how many times dey hu bie how difficult is it for the women ebi okra ebe man fault but na kwate ba ono go wo me ko pan yem you are already defending the woman who stole the child say a society pressure say ese mami bia wo anaba bia wo nti ontimi wuye no ho pressure ana amana ko fa galanzi for that reason or psychological problem nkwasi asem sei children home na da ho no I adopting kola na enwam na adopt social worker for okwa no pa kola e bo mo nya bi the same woman who cannot give birth are the same women na ni nua ba ni wo afenes wa bi ade ne bebre no na wo mo treat akola no how many times was the mema e mo treat akola say akola o ye maid ana o servant e ofie so mo treat na de bia ne ba na ofie na the worst the man can do and say either so be repair akola na so be convince no na nada that's the worst the man can do but ye bo na ni so ye de se kan hwi na ni so ye de nkwan gu na ni so ye ni na ye ma and oba ono wanti man wu bi na ogoboro bi ba and so ogo wi obi ba do you think she's going to treat the child right and I feel go wan nyansa e wo enimu sa feminist for ne de nkwase asem nko a omo nyansa pa yera fi omutirim sa nkwase equality mra na omo ka no nti nyansa bia ni omutirim na wonya be ma so a ye fe no obo ni doctorate Joshua Zato ka se oba na onu akobokro no o ye victim efi na ko anroba akobokro no ye victim position we wi sika o ye victim so onu ko support position kenofurata any person bia obokro no bia ye victim munyana ke sa na ye logic na mo de ba dia o me nto asa what nonsense is that ye ni bra abre no de mo kaka kire ni why and some is the health sector the Ministry of Health owura kwabena minta kando eda no say what committee 3-member committee say omo investigate asem esi ye our Rich Hospital, Police Hospital and Kolebu Hospital about abrante friend Charles Amissah ni wona ka bono ye ni kojina a friend saying between these 3 hospitals for 3 good hours yeah nya man for mama no of wuye ndie doctor nyanyansa ebaye ebe chese ampa wewu plus abaya na okowie a akwala no Jones bi e defending na say o problem ye fa no ko pantan enye nsabom na o ye victim because society no menu mienu as member ye mama pressure do so mo ana wo na wanti man wo tino ko wi a enti justifiable nyansa wo ma okay nyansa wo ma afa message no to se nyansa ni ma so a e afre poku ani Dr. Joshua Zanato ana kan na 3-member committee no me say committee ben the course wo ma wo ni ba ye ni enim 3 hospital no administrators wo CEOs committee ben konum ti ye ba mo musika amomo didi anom age pedem ye na besi ahwe na hwiansi we有 problem who problem drop it to comment section as subscribe like na share ma unuaso enye bi hwe edi no ba akopɛ Maxi Billian naked truth Oldboga trends macro bye bye.